Welcome to Brooks&Keat Mania. So today, I won't be able to do videos this weekend, most likely, because I'm going out at my grandparents' house in South Dakota. So I'm going to leave Minnesota for a little bit. Got my little cousin, I think she's either turning 6 or 7, I don't know. But we're going to celebrate her birthday. And so, I won't be able to do much videos. The only thing I'll probably be able to get in is Skype with Brooks, which would be cool. But I decided to do something way different. I want to show you guys the first horror movies I've ever seen. Now let me tell you a little story. See, when I was a little kid, okay, I like to think I have the best dad. I think any kid thinks that, unless you have dad issues, and that's true. That does happen. When I was a little kid, before court said I couldn't see my dad, he would show me all kinds of horror movies. I'd be really little, 4 or 5, 6 maybe. He would show me fucking gory ass horror movies. Gory. And I don't know, really gory. And at first they gave me nightmares, but I think seeing them as a kid is what got me into collecting them. Now I'm able to talk to my dad. He sends me horror movies and comics, and he collects horror movies and comics, but a lot of the first horror movies I've ever seen, he showed me with him. So I want to show you guys the first I've ever seen. Alright. I don't think they're going to be in any particular way. I know there's more than this that I've seen with my dad, but these are the only first ones I've seen with my dad that I own. So these are all, like I said, the first horror movies I've ever seen. I'm going to start off with the one that traumatized me the most. That was back when I was 5 or something. Then I got scared. I wouldn't get scared watching them, but as soon as I got to bed, I would be scared. I'd be afraid there's a fucking killer in my closet, or I didn't even want to, when I'm laying down, I didn't even want to stick my feet out from my bed. I kept them up. I laid really funky because I was afraid something's going to grab my feet and fucking drag me off the bed. So, and that's part of the reason why I couldn't see him. But let's get started. So this is the Saw collection. So it has all 7 movies. But the first one that 2 of these I first saw with my dad. I saw Saw right there and Saw 2. Oh my god. My mom and grandma, they knew he showed me horror movies and they didn't like it. And they told him to stop, but whenever he would say that never happened or whatever. Once when they knew I saw Saw, that's when they flipped shit. And my dad even got nightmares from that movie. Now though, when I watch it now, it doesn't even scare me. It's fun. The only thing that creeps me out is all the gore. I'm a big gore person when it comes to horror movies, but it's so graphic and it's crazy. But yeah, so I saw Saw and Saw 2 with him. What I remember the most as a kid is just fucking, oh god. Okay, I remember just that voice, when it put it in Saw 1, when they put it in the tape player, that voice is what I remember. And I remember the saw and how they're sawing off they had to saw off their leg or whatever, and that's what reminded me the most of it. I was afraid to even go to bed for a little while because I didn't want to wake up and find that happen to me. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. Oh god, sweet lemonade. Alright, so yeah, these 2 are the first ones I've seen, and I'm gonna show you. So counting these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I've first seen. So yeah, I saw this with my dad. I'm gonna say the ones that I saw without my dad for last. Alright. Next. This one didn't scare me. This one made me laugh my ass off. Holy fuck, it's a killer doll! He let me cuss around him too, so that was pretty cool. But it's Child's Play 2 right here. I think this is the right one. It's been a while since I've seen this, a few months, but if I'm right, they go in that factory and Chucky, his skin burns. Yeah, that's the right one. That's what I remember the most, I think, about this. Just how they go in that factory with and what's his name, Andy? Yeah, his name was Andy, and his adopted sister, the family adopted him, and his stepsister, they went in that factory and they're trying to kill Chucky, who's the toy factory, and he burned. That's what I remember the most with my dad. This was fun. We laughed our asses off, to be for real. the only thing that practically scared me about this is when I went home to live with my mom. Like me and my real dad would take turns. When I went to my mom's house, my sister has American Girl dolls, and they're really fucking like those are what scared me. I'm sorry, I got a text message from a school lady. I gotta read this. All right, okay, so yeah, so these are the first two I remember the most. Well, not the most. These are the first two. All right, a Rob Zombie film. Let me tell you this. Me and my dad, we'd sit in the car and he would blast Rob Zombie or his band White Zombie. Like every time I got in the car, like I'd be like, "Let's play it, man." You know, like we'd crank that shit. And so he showed me this House of a Thousand Corpses. He had it on videotape back then, so it wasn't as good as DVD. And I want to get this on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if they have that, but yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses. What I remember the most is like the guy right there. I don't remember his name. The X in his head. Sorry. I'm sorry. School. Alright. The guy with the X on his head. Like, that's what I remember. Like, just I think, if I'm right, he was walking down a hall, underground hall. And that's what I remember the most. I thought it was so fucking cool. Like, I just loved it. Like, I don't know. And they played some of Rob Zombie's music in it, too. So that was even better. And that's also where I first saw this movie is when I saw my first naked chick. Yeah. Even if she was all bloody or, like, really slutty and, like, evil. It was my first naked chick, so you gotta remember that, right? If you're a guy. So, yeah, there you go. Really good. This one. This one was the edited. We saw the, no, not the edited. We saw the R version, but it was cut, like, it didn't leave everything in it. And we saw it on TV. And this is the one this is what got me in the Michael Myers movies, like, I think this was actually the very first one I saw with my real dad. This is the one that really got me into Halloween movies. Halloween 5. You know, I know a lot of people don't like it, and when I first saw all the other ones, I thought, oh, it's not that bad. I still like this movie. I don't agree with the mask, maybe. Like, I think in 4 and 5, the masks get kind of funky, even 6. But other than that, I really like this movie. This is what made me first afraid that you know, Michael Myers would, like, jump out of the closet, because I think there's a scene, he was in the closet of someone's house. That's what scared me. But, yeah, it was a really good film. So, we got, 5 done. Show you 5. Because there's 2 in saw. Alright, now the ones I saw on my, this one didn't even scare me. This. When I was around 10, me and my family moved from Sioux Falls. That's where my dad lives, South Dakota to Florida. And right around there, my mom didn't let me watch any more horror movies. It wasn't until I turned 12. And when I turned 12, I still lived in Florida. And that's when I made my first channel, Keat's Reviews. And that's when I got into horror movies. But before that, I had to improvise with PG-13, like edited movies. Like, the first Leprechaun movie is in PG-13. It was like on fucking... it was R, but it was edited the one I saw. So I saw the first Leprechaun, which made me laugh. I was like, oh shit. And then number 2. These movies are really good. If you're like not looking to get too scared, but just sort of like a classic or something like funny. Like this reminds me a lot of Chucky. A lot like Chucky. Yeah. So Leprechaun and Leprechaun 2. My favorite, I can't remember. It's been a while. I might say Leprechaun 2, but I think Leprechaun was a little bit better with Jennifer Aniston. So yeah, I really like this. I need to get the rest. I only have the first 4. Alright. I want to get the one where he goes through the hood. Alright. Stephen King's It. I saw this along by myself too. When I first saw this, I watched it clip by clip on fucking YouTube. That's how desperate I was. Clip by clip on YouTube. Like, they had every part of it on YouTube. So I'd finish a clip, I'd search for the other part, watch it, that was that. And I still liked it. I think what inspired me the most to see this is when I was still able to see my real dad. When I go to his parents' house, my second grandparents' house, they had it on DVD as well. But they never let me watch it because my grandpa wouldn't My grandpa didn't approve of me watching horror movies till I got older. So I decided to just watch it on my own. So there it is. Yeah. This one's really, it's creepy, but it's great. It's classic. I love it. So yeah, those are my movies. I'll go over them. You know what? I'll even rate them. Alright, let's start with the first two I showed you. Saw and Saw 2. Saw, I rated 10 out of 10. It's a classic. It's horror. I mean, it's not too old, but it's classic for me. Saw 2, I'd rate 9 out of 10. It wasn't too bad. But I think as you progress in the series, they get out of hand. And they get really boring. Child's Play 2. I rate this 9 out of 10. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was really good for me, actually. All these are going to be good rates. Well, not all of them, but House of 1,000 Corpse, 10 out of 10 right at the bat. I love Rob Zombie. I love his movies. I own pretty much all his movies, except for, I think, Super Beast or something. Whatever it is. It's something like that. It's a cartoon. There could be more for all I know, but yeah, big fan of him. I rate this 10 out of 10. Halloween 5. I rate it 8 out of 10 because I still really do like it, but then again, after seeing the rest, it's not the best. The best for me is probably number 1 or 2. So yeah. So there you go. Leprechaun movies. Leprechaun 1, I rate both of these an 8 out of 10 because they're horror, but they're silly horror. Like, they're good, but they're really silly. So there we go. Last one, I rate this 10 out of 10. This is a classic by Stephen King. I remember going to the library once. I tried to buy I was gonna rent out the book and read it, but when I saw how fucking thick that motherfucker was, I was like, hell no. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Only 11 minutes long. Had to do something, right? So have a good one and